we watched her for years. I just know when she was out there. It was just fun, and I'm here anyway. I'm here, so
Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Libertyville in our November True Wildcat ceremony. My name's Ray Alban, and I am the very proud principal at Libertyville. So welcome this morning. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad most of you saw we have some breakfast food, and please, throughout the whole morning, throughout our presentation, feel free to go ahead and get some more breakfast as you need it. It's here for you. And much like any classroom in a school, I see that some of the front seats are not taken. I'm a little surprised, okay, but not. So we're here today to celebrate a true Wildcat ceremony. And for some of you, you might be wondering, well, what is this? And you know, Libertyville High School has many different award ceremonies, and because we have many things to celebrate for the accomplishments of our students. But one of the special ceremonies that I think we have is this monthly ceremony, and it's really to celebrate students who day in and day out have simply been present, have been accomplishing great things in class, and have just been doing the little things consistently, whether it is throughout the whole year or over, or certainly over, the month of November or a short time, just putting in the hard work, showing improvement, and just being a good person and present in class. And it's one of those things, it's the recognition of, I think, of some of these little things that is often at places like this sometimes can be overlooked. And we didn't want to make that happen, so that's why we developed this ceremony, and that's why we're here today. Your students are here because of the day-to-day work that they have been doing, and it is being recognized by various educators here today, and they're here to talk a little bit about your student and just the wonderful things that they've been doing. And it is because of this, it's just, all of this little stuff every day that really and truly, in my mind, is what makes Libertyville stand out and special from so many other places. We have great awards, we have wonderful accomplishments from our students, and we celebrate them all throughout the year, but it's these little things, the day-to-day things, that really build up and count over time. And we're here this month to celebrate all of that. So, we're going to be, we have a program, hopefully if you didn't pick up one, you can follow along. And during our program, we'll be calling the student up and the educator up to talk a little bit about them. They might flat out read the bio right from their pamphlet, or they might just start talking off the cuff. Either way, it's good. When you're called up here, we'd like you to walk on up here to be recognized. And we don't take anything to chance at the True Wildcat ceremony. We want you to know exactly where to stand. There's an X here. All right, we'd like you to stand right there. And that is because Wildcat Productions is filming this event. It's streaming right now and being recorded. All right, which means, parents, this event is live and recorded for you for all time. So, the holiday season is coming up. There's nothing better than to pull all the family together and truly embarrass your student by watching the True Wildcat in November. And this is where it gets the best, and that is year over year over year, you can always call this up and watch it from time to time, or at least threaten to watch it. So, and then when you're done, students and our teachers would ask you to exit this way. We're going to take a photo of you. We also have a little gift bag for each of you. One of our prime sponsors at Libertyville High School for a long time has been the Domino's Pizza in town. There's a certificate for pizza in there from Domino's and a couple other things as well. When we're all done with the ceremony, don't just run away. Students, come on up. We'll move the podium aside, and we want to get one picture as a group picture behind us. All right? So, we'll get rolling, and with that, following along, we're going to have Maya come on up here, and Ms. Schwartz is going to tell us a little bit about Maya. So, come on up.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi, everybody on the camera. I hope your holidays are going great. You can watch this. It's the year 2025 right now. And I have the honor of standing next to Maya this morning. I'm going to read off my sheet so I don't forget anything that I want to make sure everybody can hear and learn about her. She's a rock star student in my class, and she's also a very patient teacher because she ends up playing both roles every day in our room. She is in my clothing construction class, and with that class, students come in with a wide range of ability already, some knowing how to sew and some having no idea what the machine even looks like. And so with all of her prior knowledge coming in, she is, the pace of the projects and techniques can vary greatly with what they already know. And Maya, with her extensive sewing experience, consistently offers to help peers, stepping in when needed and bringing her enthusiasm. If I'm helping other students or if Maya completes her own projects early, I know I can count on her to be a generous teammate, step in to help, and that anyone she interacts with will be in good hands and getting good information. She approaches every task with a smile and fosters a positive, collaborative classroom environment. It sounds like I'm describing a great teacher because she is. Her cheerful attitude and willingness to share her expertise have made her a friend to many. Also noting that it's not that I am asking her to go and help someone. She just spots the needs or can hear it across the room, someone being like, oh, I don't get it. And she'll be like, what do you need? Maybe I can help. So it's really that proactive approach that she can identify. Beyond contributions in class, Maya's creativity and drive shine throughout her independent work. She's constantly brainstorming new projects, exploring new ways to do things, putting in the effort to bring her ideas to life. She's working a lot outside of class and in class. And it's a joy every time she comes in from the weekend and is like, well, I just worked a little bit extra on this and it's halfway done. And everybody in class can celebrate that. So Maya exemplifies what it means to be a dedicated and compassionate learner, and I'm so lucky to share my third period class with her every day.
All right. Next, we're going to have Edwita come on up with Dr. Brown. Going in.
Teachers, he's going in order, so you know if you're next. This on? This is Addie, everybody. I've had the joy and privilege of having this young lady in my class since the first day of freshman year. We do something every day in our class that not every student wants to do. We sing every day. And there are days where students come in and they don't want to. Even if they love singing, they love music. Do we have to sing today? I'm like, yes, you do. This young lady never says that. She's ready to sing every single day. And it's just a wonderful joy to get to watch. And it's been a joy. I'll project. I'm the music person. I will talk loud. It's been a pleasure to watch Addie grow up. You know, in an elective like mine, if the student chooses to continue being in the class, you get to see them really young when they get to school, and then you get to watch them grow and mature, and that's a special thing for me. Addie is kind and caring for her classmates. She's always helping people with anything that they need. And that's also just wonderful to see, because not every kid's like that. Not every kid, mom and dads, that's a nice thing when your kid is helpful and wants to be, showing kindness to others in the room. It's a joy for us. It's also just a joy to get to see Addie get to be creative and be in a space where she can be expressive. I've had the privilege of also getting to watch her, be in theater, and we just did a musical, and Addie was involved with that too, where you're in a whole different setting, in a different situation, and you're in a costume, and you're playing a character, and you're doing all those things. The same kindness, the same caring in that setting as she does in my choir class every day. It's hard to get kids to be expressive. It's hard to get them to open up and feel comfortable enough, moms and dads in the old public high school, to be artistic and be vulnerable in that way. They don't want to be vulnerable. They're scared. They don't want to be judged. Addie's not. If you are, I don't ever know. I mean, you might be scared sometimes, but I don't ever see it. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you can look at kids this age and feel confident that they aren't afraid. And so I really was happy that I got to do this and I got to nominate you, Addie. You're so deserving. You are true Wildcat through and through, and we're really proud of you. Thank you.
We'll see if this works. Yeah. So every once in a while, we have a nomination that comes from a couple of teachers who are probably fighting over the same student, which happens around here, and that's the case with this student. So we're going to have McKenna come up, and we're going to have Mr. Chalipsky and Mr. O'Neill talk to us about her. So please come on, welcome McKenna to the stage.
So when Dr. Brandt mentioned that for social studies, we were going to nominate a sophomore, immediately Chips turned to me and he's like, hey, should we nominate McKenna? And I was like, that is a phenomenal idea. McKenna's in my AP Euro class and in Chips's AP Econ class, which is not an easy combination to do. And I didn't even find out McKenna was taking AP Econ until I think a month into the school year. I was like, man, how do you do that with my class also? Because I give you a ton of work. And McKenna's just been killing it absolutely since the beginning of the year. But really, when I thought about this award and her, it has nothing to do with grades. It has to do with her positive attitude. She's always locked in class. You can always tell whether I'm speaking, whether she's speaking to her partner, whether we're having a large group discussion. She's always locked in, and you can see that, and it's visible, and the kids around her can see that too, and it just kind of raises everybody in the classroom. I love seeing her talk with her partners. We change partners a lot, and no matter who McKenna has been with, it's been a great experience for them because she's always got a smile, whether it's a smile like, oh God, we have to do this, or a smile like, hey, we're doing this. It's been awesome to see. So she's also always the kindest person in the classroom, which is something you absolutely can't measure. So McKenna, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, kiddo.
I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. But pretty much everything that every teacher has said so far about all of our awesome students, we could say about McKenna. And everything that Mr. O'Neill said just hits the nail on the head. She's a perfect representation of everything here at LHS, what we want our students to be. And so all the same things that Mr. O'Neill sees in AP Euro, I see in Micro. Aside from being whip smart, she always enters class with this inquisitive nature. She comes in and has this drive to continue to get better. If there's something that she's not quite getting, she's ready to put in that work. Her positive presence and kindness just radiates. We have a small class. She takes on that role of teacher quite a bit. She's kind of risen to that, absolutely. She's consistently supporting classmates, providing useful guidance, how we could all get better and improve, me included, because I'm still working to get better. And so she does a great job with that. I know she's a kid that all teachers must love to have in class. Her dedication, her work ethic, her intelligence, and just kind of this uplifting disposition is incredible. So I think I can speak for Mr. O'Neill and probably all of our teachers that we're thrilled to have her in class. So keep up the great work, McKenna.
Now, in the world of social studies, they also had another student for November Student of the Month that they wanted to introduce and talk to us about. So we're going to invite Dr. Brandt to come and tell us about Noelle as well. So please, welcome Noelle.
Good morning, everyone. I love that it's November and a month of gratitude, so a great month, I think, to represent all of our true Wildcats this month. I'm going to reference my notes because I don't want to miss anything about Nicole, so pardon me if I'm looking down. Some people say that attitude is half the battle, and if that's true, then Noelle is well on her way to great success. I have Noelle in AP Psychology this year, and she's a great example of a quiet leader who does all the right things even when nobody is watching. Noelle comes to class with a smile and a great attitude towards learning every day, whether she's working with a friend or someone she doesn't know well. She's fully engaged and makes everybody feel welcome and like a full member of the group. Noelle joined Psychology Club this year, and she's participated in activities about psychology of music and the psychology of fear. And she learned about a crime scene and how to fingerprint, and she seemed genuinely disappointed when she couldn't make our meeting about cow eyeball dissection. Some of you might be familiar with the famous Solomon Asch study, in which people were shown a series of lines in which Confederates were told by the researcher to purposely say the wrong line and then see if the true subject would go along with the Confederates and conform to the wrong line. If you don't know the study, I brought an example for you. For reference, the Confederates would say, like, line A is the answer, and then see if people would go along with that wrong answer. So on what might be my favorite day of the whole year, I encourage students to dress up like psychology concepts on Halloween, but then I never know who will actually take me up on that. So Noelle and two of her classmates actually dressed as the line study for Halloween, which was amazing by in height order. And then we have a contest to see who will win. And sadly for Noelle and her partners, that didn't even crack the top 3 this year in her class, but I was very happy with the output. I also want to mention that Student Council is running a food drive, so many of us have our food drive shirts on today, and Noelle was one of the first people to bring her cans in. She just quietly put them under the table and said, "Oh, I brought my cans," which was fantastic. And then recently, just last week, I entered a grade incorrectly in Power School. So Noelle wrote me perhaps the nicest email to let me know that I had put the grade in incorrectly, and I fixed the grade, but I genuinely was happy to know that I did that. And I mention all of these because she's really serious about her studies without taking herself too seriously, and she can be inclusive about all of her classmates, but she can also advocate for herself in the most polite way possible. One of our main goals in the Social Studies Department is to develop active and engaged citizens, and Noelle encompasses all of that perfectly well. This also aligns to our district daring mission, and our students and future graduates need not be the loudest voice in the room. They need not be the person with the highest GPA. They need not be the person with the most awards, but we hope they are the people with the greatest humanity and empathy for others. We hope they do the right thing, whether people are looking or not looking. These are the characteristics that Noelle Larson demonstrates each day, and for these reasons, she is deserving of the True Wildcat Award.
All right. Now, from the world of world language, we're going to have Mr. Kurth introduce us to Isaac. Welcome, Isaac.
It's my real pleasure today to nominate Isaac Cheram for the True Wildcat. I'm going to read a little and then add a little as I go. He's an inquisitive student with a genuine thirst for knowledge. He takes great interest in his academics, not only German but also history. He plays an active role in his learning as much as he can. He shows particular enthusiasm for German and history and is always ready to contribute thoughtful answers in class. He often asks insightful cultural and historical questions and enjoys discussing topics that extend beyond the classwork. Isaac and I have had many enjoyable conversations before school, talking about history and Germany's many roles in history, right? Throughout not only the 20th century, but earlier, right? And sometimes I recommend source books for him for World War II, and then I found out Isaac's already read the source books that I recommend, right? So I gotta keep thinking of more source books. But in class, Isaac is consistently attentive and focused. He listens carefully, participates meaningfully, and as the students like to say today, he's always locked in, right? Always locked in and focused. It's a true pleasure having Isaac in my German 2 honors class this year. I do want to say that so many kids are focused on grades, right? Grades. But really, Isaac's focused on the learning. The grades will ensue, right, from that learning. So the kids, I think, have it a little backwards. Focus on the learning first, and then the grade will come, and he's a perfect example of that. He perfectly exemplifies inquisitive. So, herzlichen Glückwunsch, alles Gute, Isaac. All the best, all the best. Alles Gute, ja? Gute Arbeit.
All right. Now from the English department, we're going to have Ms. Shanebeck come up and tell us a little bit about Henry. So welcome, Henry.
Hi, I'm Mary Kate Shanebeck, and I had the pleasure of having Henry in class last year, as well as working with him this year in English. So I've known Henry since he entered LHS, which is, I think, kind of a rare thing. Oftentimes, you know, you have a kid freshman year and then they move on and maybe you'll see them in the hallway, but I still work pretty closely with Henry on his English work. And the thing about Henry is he's not used to being in front of the camera. He's used to being the one behind the camera. He's not used to being in the spotlight. So I wanted to make sure, yes, wave to everybody, to friends behind the camera. But I wanted to make sure the spotlight found Henry because the growth that I've seen in this young man since the time he entered LHS has been a true inspiration. Henry is not one, like I said, to find the spotlight or be the loudest in the room or be the most outgoing, but the quiet determination that he has exhibited in class has been remarkable. And that's not something that often gets the recognition that it deserves. His resilience through the things that I asked him to do last year as well as this year has been so amazing to watch. Just as an example, this year I worked with Henry on an English assignment, and he came into me day in and day out working on it, and not, you know, we were stuck at times. It was not always something that was easygoing at times, but every day Henry showed up and put his head down and figured it out. And I thought that that was just such a cool thing to witness, because that resilience is not sometimes something that we see in everybody. And he just kept going and kept chipping away. And even though it took a long time, that little by little, like showing up every day and doing the right thing was something that I witnessed, and I was a front row seat too, and that was amazing. Now he's working on a narrative in English class, and it's a little bit of a different vibe. Like, he found what he wanted to write about right away, and he's super excited about it. So I've seen a light in his eye, go off when he's, like thinking about what he wants to write about. As a writer, as an English person, I love to witness that, like someone excited to tell a story. So that's been really cool to witness. So I'm super proud of Henry, and I just wanted to make sure he got everyone's recognition, because he certainly deserves it as this month's English True Wildcat.
All right. Isn't that a great buzzing in the background? Yeah, no. Hopefully we can avoid that. Now from the world of math, we'll hear from Mr. Taylor. Talk to us about Victoria. All right.
Morning. So from the math department, I'm Ian Taylor. My fourth year at LHS, and my second True Wildcat ceremony I've done. And I wanted to echo some of the sentiments from my colleagues about all these students in the room sort of having that determination, resilience, just all those really great characteristics of people, and not just about grades, about being a student, but being a really great kid, really great person in the community. And everyone in this room is going to be a really big contributor someday for our society. So I'm really proud of all of you guys. But I want to talk about Victoria. I just met Victoria this year in Honors Algebra 2. And in the background, my colleague, Ms. Hoffman, and I have done a lot of work on this class and really tried to up the challenge, up the quality of what we're doing in class. And Victoria just hits it in stride and is absolutely dominating the math this year. She represents some of our core values in class of process, responsible, and being resilient. If Victoria misses class from time to time, she'll come in and literally be ahead of where she needs to be the next day. my favorite moment so far this year was she came in after, being gone for a couple of days and said, hey, I think I'm ready for the test. We had a test that day. And I was like, don't you want to study, or don't you want to review some stuff? She's like, no, I did. I studied. I'm ready. I'm like, wow, that's great. I don't usually get that response. Like, people take me on the 2 days immediately. So just that resilience to just be ready to go at all times, no matter the circumstance, to me is where Victoria shows that resilient nature, in her studies. She's super process oriented. We talk about, the learning coming before the grades. I think Victoria represents that, in its truest form. She really does focus on the process. How do I do things? How do I get to the answer versus what is the answer? And math especially, I just love to see students that really embrace that part of the process. And finally, just being responsible. I mean, she's really responsible for her work. She is super kind to her classmates, and like many of us in the room, we love to see people just being kind to others, and that positive light that Vicki brings to our classroom is amazing. So I would not have picked anybody else, and I'm really proud of Victoria this year, and she deserves this award a lot. So nice job.
All right, now from our science department, we're going to have Ms. Danielewicz tell us a little bit about Megan. So come on up, please. Lay her down. Yep.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy that we are here and able to celebrate all our students. My name is Erin Danielewicz. I'm a chemistry teacher here. This is my first year teaching, so I'm super honored to have this opportunity to be here with Megan and nominate her for True Wildcat. She is one of the most kindest and selfless students I have. She goes above and beyond every single day to make sure that every person in our classroom feels that they have a comfortable and safe environment to be in. She is working hard during labs, making sure every student has a role and that they are being able to contribute and learn all at the same rate and same pace. She's always smiling. I can always count on her to walk into my room with a smile. She comes into my room even when she doesn't have me, so I get to see her 4 or 5 times throughout the day just because she wants to say hi, which is really fun. Or, Miss Danielewicz, let me tell you about what happened last period. And so it's just really fun to see her in those little spurts. But the growth that I've seen in Megan from the first day of school to where we are now, she came in and she was quiet. She sat in the back of the room, and now she's sitting in the back of the room, but she is staying motivated, and she is raising her hand, and she is throwing out answers, and she's getting the people around her to also kind of dive in and be fully engaged in their learning, which has been such a great thing for me to have as a teacher, to have a student who is such a positive leader in our class. She also works incredibly hard to balance out being an athlete and a student. She works on time management consistently. She makes the effort and the time to go and meet with her teachers as needed. But she's also a great athlete. I've gotten the honor of watching her play volleyball representing LHS, and I know she plays club outside. So being able to have that relationship, being able to talk about volleyball and how that's contributing to her work ethic and her school life has been awesome to have that as well. Some other things that I love to say is how when she gets frustrated, I will be the first person to say chemistry is not easy. Chemistry is not an easy class, not at all. And for somebody who's never seen any of the content before, coming in and dealing with the frustration, watching her deal with it with grace and asking questions instead of shutting down has been amazing, because all of the other students in our classroom feed off of that. So she's an example, she's a leader, and I'm very, very proud of you. And I am very thankful that we have you. I think that you make such a difference in our LHS community and the Libertyville community, so keep working hard, and remember, you can do hard things.
Well, everyone, I wanted to, thank you for being here this morning. I know coming in on a Friday morning early is not an easy thing to do, and I appreciate you all, making the time and being here to celebrate some very special students. Students, congratulations to all of you again. Your actions, this month and really throughout the year are really proving that you're living what we hope to be our mission, which is to create daring students. And for all the teachers in the room, I was really impressed how you referenced our mission statement so many times. That was warming to me to hear that. So as we talk about that throughout our district and our school, you truly are daring in what you're doing and becoming daring in your journey. And never forget really that it's the little things in life that matter and count. And I believe that you are truly showing that right now, and you will continue to do that throughout your time at LHS. And you are well on your way towards becoming that which I already know to be true, which is you're going to achieve uncommon success, and it will all have began at LHS. So thank you very, very much for being here today. Please feel free to grab some extra food on your way out. And students, come on up so we can take one last picture. All right? Thank you all.
Take your moment.